What's going on, everybody? James here, RedoptionAgency.com. 21 years selling on eBay. And, well, to start off, last night they shut the server down again, it appears, from about 11 to 7. Nothing came through during those hours again. I'm thinking about calling today and trying something new. Just go straight to a supervisor and ask them straight up, why does it appear every night servers are being shut down and my store is being affected almost every night for the last year and a half? And then ask to see if I can get moved to a different server or something. Try something different. Because I'm tired of being robbed of money. So yesterday, I only made it up to 675. Again, another mid to upper sixes. That's 3 of the last 4 days now. When there's clearly a shutdown. And I had, so it's 675. I had 650 at like 9 p.m. last night. So between like 9 p.m. and 2 a.m., I did $25. So in 5 hours, $25. We're at 10 a.m. now. I'm at $90. And that was payments from some offers I took this morning. So. So I ended up taking all my under $5 items off of promotion. They're 0% now. Since I've done that, my impressions actually have jumped up to 1.4 million when they were sitting at 1.2, 1.3. So yesterday I made it up to 1.4, still by taking those 13,000 items off of promotion, and that's what it was sitting at when they were on. So still getting the same amount of impressions, even though that. Let me look at the promoted impressions. Let me look at the page views for promoted. So promoted 1,400 yesterday, 13 the day before, 13, 14, 14, 15, 13. So I'm getting about the same amount of traffic with promoted listings, even though I took 13,000 low dollar items off of promotion. Don't know what to make of it. I'm really starting to think that none of these numbers matter, you know. Or either that or you're allocated a certain amount depending on the amount of items you have listed or something, it seems like. I don't know. Some variable I have not figured out yet. But anyway. I got a call about a feedback anyway. We're going to take a negative feedback off, but they took the wording off, but they left the actual negative. So I can call in. It's happened once before, and I just called in, and they took it off. So I don't know. Try something new, because this week's been kind of a bummer week. For the last 7 days, $4,500. So still down from last month, 6.5%. At least that's come up a little. I was sitting around 12 to 13%. So that's at least come up. Not saying much, but I'm not saying much. Let's go this month compared to last year. I like comparing to last year same month instead of saying last month, just because it kind of follows the trends of the year, if you will, vacations and what have you. So compared to the same period last year, I'm only down 3.8% for total sales. My quantity sold's down 10%. So not bad there. Total buyers down 2.3%. My hat sales are up 4.5%. But my cassette sales are down almost 50%. Wow. I must have been on a cassette listing spree last year. And I was actually. So that's why I made a conscious choice to start shifting back to clothes this year. All right, let's get into what's sold and ship this stuff out. All right. First up, Performance Fishing Gear Columbia baseball cap. Sold for $8, headed to Raleigh, North Carolina. This next item shows you I'll sell anything. So this was a bag I guess Jan got and filled with stuff over at the bins when she was shopping. And it's just a reusable bag by Blue Q. So I'm like, well, I'm listing that. Sold for $5, headed to Doral, Florida. I want you to get in there. Get in. Corner snagging the poly bag. I waste nothing. I will sell the bags too. Alright. We got Eddie and the Cruisers on cassette, sealed. Sold for $12.30, headed to Boise, Idaho. Boise, Idaho. All right, David Meese, cassette. Sold for $3.33, headed to Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And also, like the last couple of days, I've been getting a lot of international orders, especially on the international eBay sites. So I thought things were, maybe headed in the right direction somehow, some way. But overnight, I've got one item going to Australia, and that's the only international. And that was paid this morning. So, was it bought this morning or paid? It was paid this morning, so I'm not sure when it was bought. So it's kind of indicative of shutdowns overnight. Alright, we got a baseball cap. Where'd you go? You're hiding on me. An upside down pineapple? I find a lot of pineapple hats. I don't know what that stands for or nothing, but I don't know. So for $10, headed to Lumberton, North Carolina. Maybe I'll call in with the draft issue again and then see what I can, since having drafts disappear really stifles my listing. Alrighty, we got Thomas the Tank on Super Nintendo. Sold for $16, headed out to California. Next up, Talking About Theater vinyl. Sold for $3.33, headed to Fort Worth, Texas. I'm gonna check, make sure my sale thing's still on, because nobody's bought multiple items really from me that much. The buy two get one free lately. Looks like I may have one here, but they've slowed down drastically. What's this one? All right. Are you ready for a CD like that? We got 2 CDs. We got the long box of the Delta Rebels, the blister pack, and the Headhunters First Things First CD. Both together sold for $15, headed to Marion, Ohio. Which is good. Miss Arkansas Senior, Betty Beck. This little independent stuff, self-produced stuff, always cracks me up. All right, so that sold for $6.30, headed to Dallas, Georgia. Clint Black Greatest Hits. Sold for $377, headed to Billings, Montana. Whoops, that's 3.9. We've got Nat King Cole 45, Nothing Ever Changes, and Ask Me 145. Sold for $630, headed to Northville, Michigan. What did you guys do? Gotta break into my new pack. It's time to order some hat boxes again. Nope, this wasn't even a buy one, get one, because one's overpriced. Or buy two, get one, I should say. Yeah, make sure that thing's still... Sometimes those sale things will disappear on you. That. It's still showing up, so at least for me. All right, we got. Are you ready for a cassette lot? Yeah. We got 3 cassette tapes. Sold for $13. Headed to Atlantic Beach, Florida. We got Y&T Contagious. Great band. Prince, of course, good. And Natalie Archangel. Ow. Never listened to that. Atlantic Beach, Florida. My head's just stuck in trying to do something new, you know. To get that back up to over 800 plus a day. Alrighty, we've got a plush tiger. Sold for $12. Headed to Bridgeton, Massachusetts. some days I just want to start like lotting everything up and just selling everything in lots, you know, just to, I don't know, move stuff and be done with it and move on. Start a different sourcing strategy, if you will. Then other days I'm like, no, I like listing all this good stuff, this good small stuff. Perfect Day Cocoa K sold for $11, headed to Nashville, Tennessee. Then when I start lotting it up, and I realize how little dollar per item I'm getting, I'm just like, and it kind of eats at me. It's just, you know, I'm past the frustration part. I'm just it almost feels like I'm at the acceptance part, you know. The stages, the grieving stages of the death of the eBay website. Master Blaster Geometry for the PC, Windows 95. So for $630, headed to Port St. Lucie, Florida. Well, at least a few other things have been paid for. That's good. And one offer. Wait, what? Take 7 for each tape I buy. 2 tapes you have, I pay fast today. Well, first off, you only have an offer for 1 tape. So I'm going to hold off on accepting that till I figure out what the heck you mean. Trying to trap me into something. $7 for 2 tapes. What the next tape you're going to say I agreed to is like a $50 tape? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the person's trying to do there. So, all right. The original Kings of Comedy with Cedric the Entertainer from St. Louis. So for $630, headed to Minnesota. Wadena, Minnesota. Yesterday was like a weird day in the sense that like no high dollar stuff sold at all. It was all like low dollar stuff. Alrighty, we got Duke Ellington 2-tape set on cassette. So for $630, headed out to Hawaii. Looks like I've got 2 items here. They paid separately. So, are you ready for a hat light? Yeah. All right. So for $22, we've got this Glacier National Park hat and a black wool blend hat. Headed to Newport Beach, California. Let me make sure they're going to the same address. I don't know what today's gonna do for me. Like yesterday, I couldn't get in the mood to list, so I probably only got like, I don't know, maybe if I'm lucky, I got 100 up. It's weird, like when you're having, for some reason, and I've seen other people talk about this too, and it's the same with me. When you're having a bad day on eBay, it doesn't motivate you. It kind of deflates you when it should be doing the opposite. You know, if you're having a bad day on eBay, it should motivate you to get the listing, right? But I list more and better when my sales are consistently coming in. So when they're having all these issues and it slows it down, it just kind of, it's almost like a downward spiral. Gotta find a way to reverse that thinking, that mentality. And I think it goes back to what I was saying yesterday. It's kind of hard when, was it yesterday? I don't remember. But when you put in all the work and you should be getting better results, but you're not because of the website. And it's just one big deflating situation. So if I can figure out how to overcome that, I will share it all with you. Got to figure it out. And I try to do it by thinking ahead, thinking the future. Like, well, when the site is working good, sales are just going to be flooding in, which normally happens on those days when the site is flowing and working properly and you don't get no errors. The sales are rolling in pretty steadily and strong. So I just got to think $1,500 a day, $1,500 a day, $1,500 a day. We got Just a Disc. We got Death, Individual Thought Pattern CD. So for $4 plus shipping, headed to Lakewood, Ohio. And if you're new to my videos, all the prices I do give do not include the shipping that I do charge. All right, I got a couple left here, but I'll go ahead and do these a little bit later so I can get to the post office. And let's see what sold also that I have not pulled. So we've got, are you ready for a hat lot? Yeah, we got a big old grumpy hat. Tough Guy Trucking Company and Atlantic Hawks. Both of those together sold for $20. Keith Anderson Fall Festival t-shirt going to Australia for $17. Then I got a Prince 12-inch vinyl of Hot Thing, just the vinyl only, no cover. That sold for $63. So good, a high dollar item. But that sold like 2 days ago. They just now paid. So I remember that selling a couple of days ago. So technically not a high dollar item sold, but paid at least. A Christian metal band, Tornaga, don't know how it's pronounced exactly. Never listened to them, called God's Gift, sold for $20 on cassette. And Julian Hogue Holiday Collection CD sold for $333. Boom. So at least I got those items coming in. Those 333s are not promoted anymore and they're selling still. So was I at? Not there, not there, not there. There we go. Traffic. Something must be going on too with the promoted. Like my organic today so far, 7 organic and only 3 promoted. When it's usually flipped. So I think I'm going to go in after the post office, then I'm going to go in, and what I do on my promoted is I go up 1% or down 1% whenever it seems like there's an issue, just to see if it sparks anything. So 2 days ago, I went from 15 to 16 because there seemed like there was a little issue going on. So now today I'll go in and drop it back down to 15. So I'll do that in a bit. In a beat. All right. That is all. Don't really have much to talk about today, I guess. My mind's just stuck in... I'm kind of like in blah land right now. I'm just kind of... I could go any direction right now. So I've got to choose wisely my thought process for the day, because it's either going to crash my day or it's going to accelerate my day. So when I'm in that holding pattern, it feels like, I think that's the thing. Here, I'm gonna get into talking now. I think that's the thing that I differ from when I was, say, a teenager and in my 20s. Like, I would let the emotions rule me, if you will. Where I guess it comes with age. We all probably do it. Maybe not all, but like now I can read what emotion I'm feeling, or if I'm having a blah day, or if I'm feeling frustrated, I address that mentally, internally, so it doesn't project onto other people, you know? Like when you're young, you just let your emotions, you could ruin somebody else's day because you're having a bad day, right? So I think that's the coolest thing about, at least in my thought process, being older, is you can kind of evaluate, because you've been there, done that. You've seen results of how things happen. So when I'm in this blah type of holding pattern of a day where I can go either way, what I'll probably do is go get me a frozen Coke, because A, I like them and they make me happy. B, it has sugar in it. That'll kick me up a little bit. And I've been trying to avoid sugar. I think the thing that's the hardest part about getting away from full sugar is ketchup for me. So I need to really get away from ketchup. But every once in a while, of course, I like the frozen Coke. I love the texture of them. And I've kind of switched from Slurpees, because I used to be a big Slurpee, but the last couple of Slurpees I've had, the sugar content just seems so overpowering and overwhelming. And I feel it on my lips and everything. Like I take a few sips and I waste the rest. So I've been going to QT and getting an actual frozen Coke. And it seems to have a better consistency, I guess. Not as much sugar, or it's not as noticeable. So I've been getting a frozen Coke from QT. So that'll be the first step. Hopefully they got some hot chips. So I'll make it a hot chip icy day, because that makes me happy. And then try to figure out what direction I want to go and just start pounding out listings. I'm thinking maybe I'll just draft most of the day until I start seeing drafts disappear again. Then I'll call in, use that as my reasoning to call in, because they were disappearing the last time I was calling in. And then when I call in, start really grilling them on this shutdown overnight thing. I know I'm probably not going to get no answer, because I haven't in the past when I brought it up. And I know probably the reps don't know anything about it in the first place. I think the last time I asked for a manager, I never got one. They never called me back. So, not expecting anything. And now that they're laying off the 500 people, you don't know who those 500 people are. Are they call centers in overseas? Are they reps in the U.S.? Who are they, you know? Is it the janitor at the you know, I mean, I don't know. So, all right. That's it for me. It's Friday. It's supposed to be big sales on Fridays, even though the last Friday, I think, was the total failure Friday. What was last Friday? Yeah, last Friday was 668. That kind of started the whole, no, the Wednesday before kind of started the whole 600 thing. So Wednesday, February 8th was 600. The 10th was 600 and something. Then the 13th, then the 15th, then the 16th. So I've had more lower dollar $600 days than ever before. Because normally, like my average, like at the end of June was hitting really good. For my average, is doing 890, 880, 870, 824, 887. And that's where my average day low end should be, with the amount of items I have up and the consistency that they do sell when the site's working properly. So I guess I gotta kind of start looking at it as the site's never going to work properly again. So how do I get these $600 days up, so that when it is working properly, if I can get a $600 day up to $800 day, when the site's been down 7, 8, 9 hours overnight. I'm going through my therapy session with you for where my head's going to be for the day. So bear with me. So that means list more, get more up, so I can make my bad days higher. So then when the dead site is working properly, I have the big dollar days. It's not working, but I'm trying. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. And you can see pause, but that's about it. Vern's pause. He's been great the last couple of days. He's been very active. Take him out front. He's barking, doing his trot. Everything seems normal about him except his limp, you know. Especially here lately. I guess he's got to kind of adjust it to the medication. I mean, when he's resting, he's resting. But he'll hear a little snoring now and again. So, but when he's up, he's up. So that's good. All right. I guess that's it. I think that's it. All right. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.